For today's experiment, we're going to be using quinacridone magenta, bright aqua green, and we also have medium magenta, as well as titanium white. For our titanium white, we're using Floetrol as our pouring medium for all of these colors. And for the titanium white, I did a 3-to-1 mixture of 3 parts Floetrol to 1 part paint. And then I also did about 20% water, 20% distilled water in the titanium whites. For the bright aqua green, I have a 3-to-1 mixture of Floetrol to paint. We did a 3-to-1 mixture on the quinacridone magenta as well. Both these have 2 drops of silicone in each. For the medium magenta, I did a 3-to-1 mixture as well as I added some water. I'm not entirely sure exactly how much water I added. I added too much at first, so I ended up having to add more paint. It was sort of just eyed out. And that also has 2 drops of silicone in it. So for today's pour, we're going to be just covering the canvas in white paint, and then we'll be laying the paint in different lines, and we'll be doing a swipe. So I'm going to do my swipe technique using this tool right here. Hello, my fellow aspiring artists and art enthusiasts alike. I'm Mark. Welcome to the Art with Mark YouTube channel. And if you've ever tried to get cells in your acrylic pour, you already know it's not quite as easy as some people make it look. In today's video, I'm going to be trying acrylic pouring cells with silicone to see if we can figure out how to do it consistently every time. Let's get into it. Even after doing the swipe technique twice, I still wasn't quite able to get the quality results that I'm looking for when it comes to getting cells in my pours. As you were watching that last segment, you may have saw me do one swipe and then come in and pour some more colors on the canvas and do a second swipe. That first swipe that I didn't really like the results I was getting, and I had put a little too much pressure on the white paint, and I dragged too much of the white paint over the colors to the point where those colors weren't really able to show through the paint. So then on my second pass through, I did another swipe, and I ended up picking up some of the colors on that first swipe, and then when I came over the second time, they mixed into the paint in just the right way to start making some of those awesome cells. Now, unfortunately, I also then did some tipping of the canvas, which stretched the cells out and sort of ruined the pattern I was getting. And then on top of that, it looks as though as this painting was drying, it wasn't really very level, so everything got a little bit more warped along that way as well. With all that covered, we're still experimenting here and trying to figure out how to get consistent cells in our pours. Personally, I'm beginning to think that getting good cell structures in your pours relies on 2 different things. The primary thing that it relies on is the particular recipe and mixture that you're using for your paints, your medium, and your silicone. I'm using a 3-to-1 ratio, and some of these paints have a little bit of water mixed into them, but I have heard of other recipes to use that we're gonna actually try in a different video. Since in this video I already have paints left over from the last recipe that I tried, we're gonna see if it makes a difference in doing a different technique. So we've tried the swipe technique. This time, let's try a Dutch pour and see if we can get better results. As you can see, the Dutch pour came out really nicely. Again, Dutch pours are super easy to do and they get really awesome results. Whether you're trying to get cells or not, it's still a really cool pour to try. As you saw though, we got really great cell structures in the Dutch pour. Since I still have leftover paint with the same mixture, we're going to try one more pour technique. This time we're going to try and do a traveling open cup. That one is definitely my favorite pour of the 3 types of pours that we tried today. We did get some decent cell structures in that one. Of the 3 different types of techniques we tried today, the swipe technique definitely got the best cells in it before I did the tipping and I ruined it. The other thing to keep in mind too is to make sure that when or where you're drying your painting that the area is nice and level. If you're going to be using thumbtacks, which I really can't recommend at this point because I've been using the thumbtacks for all these, and the problem with that is sometimes you have a thumbtack that's pushed in more than another thumbtack, and so when you go to set it on a different surface, to dry, it turns out that the painting is not level. As a result, you end up getting warping in the pattern that you have created through your acrylic pouring technique, which is not ideal for the quality results that we're looking to get. We've only tried 3 different techniques today to do acrylic pouring with cells using silicone. There's definitely more techniques we can try, as well as different types of mixtures that we can try when it comes to our pouring recipe and how to mix our paint and our medium and water and all the various different elements we can put into our mixtures to get a good quality result with our pours. If you're just getting started with acrylic pouring and you still need to figure out what kind of supplies to get or what type of pour to start with, check out my acrylic pouring playlist right here. Alternatively, if you're interested in more abstract painting that goes beyond acrylic pouring, check out my abstract playlist right here.